Thanks for watching Numbskull News. And today, let's talk about the Big 12. Is it in trouble? Is it somehow in trouble and I just missed it? And what I'm talking about is every time a lot of these national journalists and even people on YouTube, because, they listen to the national journalists all the time. Well, every time these so-called journalists are talking about the ACC and what's happening. Because, look, the ACC got a stay of execution for a while. They got a stay of execution when ESPN picked up that contract until 2036. Here's the problem. Here's the issue. The Big 12 already went through this crap, right? Texas and OU left. Then it happened to the PAC. The Big 12 was able to add teams and survive. The Pac-12 kept losing teams, and then now they're struck down, rebuilding, recoalescing as a G6. That's what happened to them. The Big 12 is still a power conference, an autonomous conference with playoff access. But this has not happened to the ACC. Not yet. So if ESPN had not picked up the contract, this would have happened around sometime 2026, 2027, where Florida State and Clemson would have been able to get the hell out of there. They would have found a way to do that through the courts. However, ESPN did pick up the contract. They're still in the courts, and there's probably going to be a negotiation where it will allow them to get out of that conference early. Meaning, the ACC is going to lose its biggest brands, just like the other two conferences we talked about. Well, these big-time journalists, they know this shit. They know what's going to happen. But every time they talk about the ACC being in trouble, they also have to stack the Big 12 in there too, sandwich them together. Oh, they're both in trouble. What are you talking about? The Big 12 was in trouble. It was saved, was able to get a deal with ESPN and Fox. They're doing fine. In 2031, they can renegotiate for a better deal. See what I'm saying? We're a pretty solid damn conference. Unless the Big Ten or the SEC, unless they want to, for some unknown reason, want to snag Kansas or TCU or Colorado or Utah or somebody, then we're going to be together for a while, this 16 teams. This is a kind of a permanent thing going forward. I've seen no evidence, no real reporting worth its salt that says the Big Ten and the SEC are interested in any Big 12 school. So having said that, why are we putting the Big 12 in with the ACC when you're talking about ACC drama? What's going on there? It's because there's an elitist attitude. We should all know this by now, especially Big 12 fans. There's an elitist attitude in the media. They couldn't fathom the Pac-12 going down and the Big 12 surviving, but that happened. Oh, but then there's the ACC. The Eastern Coast Conference, the big power conference over there with all your academic juggernauts and all this. They still have their blue bloods intact for now. They can't fathom a world where the ACC crumbles and the Big 12 continues to rise. So when they talk about, oh, there's trouble, all this, but the Big 12's in the trouble too. They're in the trouble. No, we're not in the trouble. We've already went through the drama. We came out the other side. It's over for us. You think the ACC schools are going to be able to take Big 12 schools? Who wants to go to a conference that's facing what we already faced and survived? And when you don't know how the ACC is going to turn out, is it going to be Pac-12? Are they going to lose teams to the Big 12 also? Of course. That's just annoying the shit out of me. How are we in trouble when, we've already went through the fire. They're yet to go through it. That's their fire to go through. That's their drama to go through. That's their problem that they got to try to solve. Stop putting our name into that basket. We're not in the same situation at all. And one more thing. There's a lot of people that's been stressing about how ESPN just loves the SEC. Oh, they love the SEC. They're going to crap on everybody but the SEC. So you hear a lot of that from ACC people, even some Big 12 people as well. What do you expect? That's the conference they pay the most money to. Of course, they're going to feature them more often on ESPN, ABC, wherever they can. They're a huge ratings draw. What's the problem? So many people are so worried about that. There's so much jealousy about it. Don't freaking worry about it. Look what happened this year. How many people, these SEC sycophants online, national journalists, ESPN, how many of them had to eat shit because of the results of the playoffs? That Georgia was knocked out. One and done. Texas, couple good games, and then they get destroyed by Ohio State. I mean, please someone tell me this year when people are pissing and moaning about Alabama, and then you had the dog shit showing that the SEC did in the CFP. They got 3 teams in, 3 teams out. Didn't make it to the finals. Didn't make it to the championship game. Wasn't even close to getting there. I mean, Texas was kind of close, but they were shown the door really quickly in that game. It was shown that they really couldn't hang with Ohio State at all. Tennessee, smoked. And I understand. Now you got the head coach of South Carolina looking like a complete jackass talking shit. Of course. Give them the rope to hang themselves with. This is why I'm not pissing and moaning about it. I will make fun of them when they do make an ass of themselves. Of course. Well, ESPN... Look, I don't blame ESPN for wanting some of those SEC matchups. All right, that's good money for them. I'm not worried about it because the Big 12, we get access to ESPN, ABC, ESPN2, just like the ACC does. Oh, but wait. When ESPN does not have room for us, we go to Fox, FS1. When there's no room there, now there's an avenue for us to play games on TBS and TNT. We have a ton of this exposure. No, we don't have a Big 12 network like the ACC does. But you can have your freaking network. I'll take the exposure. I'm willing for our conference to make less money for exposure. Exposure is worth so much more for this new Big 12 than having a stupid ass network based on the laws of the linear system, which is going in the shithouse. So, the Big 12's all good. And if you're a Big 12 fan bitching about ESPN bias, don't worry about it. That's one of 3 media partners we have. So let's stop with all the damn jealousy. It doesn't get anybody anywhere. We're going to be fine as a conference. Your individual teams within this conference, we're doing great. Who cares if the SEC's doing great? I don't blame them. Hell, make all the money you can. Get all the leverage from ESPN you can if you're the SEC. I don't give a shit. I mean, keep your eyes, if you're in the Big 12, keep your eyes on your own paper and don't worry about it. If you ACC, of course, you're shitting bricks all over the place because you got 2 teams that would love to go to the SEC and are doing everything they can to get there. Our 2 teams already left. And we're doing great. Better than anyone ever expected that we were going to do. So, enough of the bullshit. We're not in any trouble. We're not in the same boat with the ACC. They're yet to go through the fire. They're going to go through the fire. It's one of the reasons they're freaking out about ESPN and the SEC. Because that's the only media partner they got. That's the only exposure they're going to get is on ESPN, ESPN2, or any of the family of ESPN networks or ABC. And yet, they keep getting pushed aside for the SEC. Of course they're getting pushed aside. Hell, the ACC doesn't get the ratings of the Big 12, let alone the SEC. So, of course, that's going to happen. So, no freaking out. Not from the Big 12 perspective. Come on, we're rocking and rolling here. We've had 1 year with the new Big 12, with this current 16 team. We have greatness ahead of us. Fun seasons. We're in the midst of a fun-ass basketball season, a badass basketball season. And the shit's just going to keep getting better and better for us. So, chill out. That's all I got to say. Anyway, thanks for watching this crap. I'll be back with some more crap later. Bye.